Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. How is everybody doing? It is time for another fun Friday Flosstube weekly update with me. I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, and I can't do these glasses. I'm just being honest, I can't. I had to bust out an older pair of glasses because, well, I just did. And these are terrible too. They're all terrible. Every single pair is terrible because they're not my favorites. I'm not going to gripe and bellyache and complain. However, so after the video last week, the pair that I wore that were too big and falling off my face, I was putting things away and I dropped those on the floor and the arm fell off. Yeah. These are glaring. These are broken and glaring. I don't know what to do. We're just going to make these work. We're going to make these work. Make it work. Make it work like Tim Gunn. We're going to make it work. So if you see glare on my glasses, I apologize. I have reordered glasses, and they will hopefully be here soon. I have reordered my favorite kind in both brown and tortoiseshell. One pair I got anti-glare and blue blocking light, so those are going to be for my work, for at work. And then I have my another pair that I don't know which one I got with what, with anti-glare, so that I can wear them to film and not see a reflection back and forth. So, but those weren't going to work. Nope, not today. So, what an intro, but ching! Thank you so much for joining me for a fun Friday Flosstube weekly update. Again, I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. I know I already said that. And this is Flosstube number 66. And today is Friday, August the 21st, 2020. And I have successfully completed 1 week of school. And I will tell you, it feels like the greatest accomplishment in the whole wide world, because I have not been in a classroom for a solid week since March the 6th. And folks, there is no level of tired like first week of school teacher tired. And I thought that was the most tired I could ever be. No. There is no tired like first week of school teacher tired after 5 minutes of stay-at-home orders. But we are back. We are in person. For those of you who might be new to the channel, I am an elementary, my title is Elementary Learning Specialist, so I help students at our school that need a little extra support. And some of you have reached out to me and said, oh, are you kind of like a special ed teacher? No, because we are not affiliated with a public school district, so we do not have special education students. I'm kind of an interventionist, or like a math specialist or a reading specialist, something along those lines. But we started back Monday full days. After a rolling start and a practice day last Friday, we started Monday, first day of school. I am on morning drop-off duty. We are no longer allowing parents to walk into the building to either drop off their children or pick up their children. I don't think we knew what that was going to look like until dismissal on Monday. This has been the epic saga of carpool this week. Day one took nearly an hour to load every child. So that meant a new plan had to come into place, and we started 2 carpool lines. I am still on the 1st through 6th grade carpool line, but we now have a pre-K, kinder, and siblings of pre-K, kinder carpool line. And so we whittled it, we got in a good rhythm, and finally by this Friday, we are to our normal allotment of time. It's been exceptionally hot because it's August, it's Texas, it's to be expected. But it was so great to be back in my normal routine. I had a great week. I have a lot of new kids this year. I will often have kids matriculate year to year. But I've had a lot of new ones. They are fantastic kids. My kids that are returning are fantastic. Everybody's just, the energy is up because everybody's excited to be in school. We had less like first week counselor issues this week. It's been awesome. It has been fantastic. And thank you so much to all of you who have said, I've been in your thoughts and prayers, that my school has been in your thoughts and prayers. I really appreciate it. I know that that's something that takes thought and time and intention to do, and I really appreciate it, because I really feel like we're doing something very powerful for these kids. We're showing them that their education is important, and we're going to figure out a way to make it safely happen. So far, week 1, we are good. Now we are just hopeful that parents will do the right thing and will continue safety type measures at home, because we can keep them in our environment at school, and we can control that. We cannot control the after school or the weekend time. We did have several students today go home with friends who are not in their cohort family, but we can't control that. So I let go of what I cannot control, and I cannot control that. So needless to say, it was a great week. It was a fulfilling week. I've had early bedtimes pretty much all week this week. Wednesday hit me the hardest. I don't know why. I guess it was just like it compounded. And so Wednesday I was sitting in my stitchy chair, like getting ready to stitch, and I literally fell asleep with stitching in my hands at like 8:15. Woke up at like 8:30 and was like, oh, power nap. And I went, okay, I'm going to try. And I started to doze again. I was like, this is pointless. I'm just going to go to bed. So I was in bed asleep by like 8:30, 8:45-ish. Last night I went to bed fairly early. So needless to say, with my figuring out my new schedule, figuring out when kids come in, when I have any kind of free time, and then when I get home in the evenings, taking care of bath time or shower time for Joy-Filled Little One, putting lunch boxes back together. I did purchase enough Bent Go boxes and tray inserts for me to be able to meal prep 5 lunches for me and 5 lunches for her on Sundays. So the only thing I really have to do is pull out the other tray, rinse it, put it in the dishwasher, and then I pull one from the fridge and put it in the clamshell. So that has been super, super helpful in the evenings to not have to worry about packing a lunch. We for sure do not have time in the mornings to do that. We are still getting to have some time to like lounge in the morning, not very long, but a little bit, and I think that's good for Joy-Filled Little One. She is thriving and loving 3rd grade. She loves her teacher. She's just super pumped to be up every day and see what's going to be new and different, and I'm over the moon joyful about that for sure, because I wasn't sure if she was going to feel confident and comfortable. She was a kid that suffered separation anxiety nearly every year. I kind of thought Tuesday was going to be rough. It turned out okay. She's been tired all week too, so bedtimes have been pretty quick. She had her first dance class. She is doing ballet. She's super excited. She had that yesterday afternoon. She really enjoyed that. She put her tights on backwards. She was with grandmother, and she said, I can do this. You know, that little bit of sass, that 8-year-old sass is coming out. And she said, okay, fine. And then she was like, Mommy, I couldn't figure out why my convertible tights wouldn't do the right thing. And I said, okay, well, we'll figure it out for next time. Well, took her leotard off, and her tights are on backwards. I was like, that's why they didn't work. Your tights were on backwards. She was like, okay, well, next time I'll try better. I was like, okay, good. Whatever. Like, it worked. It was fine. So other than back to work, so the stitching has been all over the place. I have quite a list of things to show you, but a lot of it was from the weekend, and a lot of it got just a little bit of stitches in. But I mean, I'm a process stitcher, so I'm totally fine with, like, if it got 100 stitches, I'm not counting stitches. I did another week of no counting of stitches. So I just stitched, and it was great. And it's giving me more time to stitch. So I don't think there's much other life update. I think we're going to go swimming tomorrow. I thought we were done with the swimming, but I think we're going to go swimming tomorrow. So we've got, I have no finishes or FFOs to show you. Surprise, surprise. I did have a restart of a project, which was not a planned anything, but it was something that came upon me, and I felt compelled, and I went with it, and now I'm obsessed. So I'll show you that. I have a bunch of whips to show you. I have my knitting whip to show you. I have some plans to chat about, both in this next weekend / this next week, and also going into September and October. We got some planned starts, and I'm sharing them with you because some of them you might want to join in on. And then stash, of course, we've got a little bit of stash here and there. And then in plans, I think I'll show you some of the things I have planned. I'm going to show you what I planned to do this weekend. So I do have Color Street on my nails. I think this is You Are Corally Invited or something like that. I don't really remember, to be perfectly honest. And I've got on fun bracelets today. Today was Spirit Day, so I have on, I call this my Saved by the Bell shirt for my school. And so I've got on bright colored bracelets, and then I have on these super cute earrings. They're polymer clay, and Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy, shared them on her Insta stories. And she said thank you to Kristen of Blue Bonnets and Whiskey, who is local to me. She's around in the same area as me, for referring her to this company. They're on Instagram. I'll link them below. Everything gets linked below, but it's usually not up until tomorrow. So if there's something you're like, hey, I didn't catch that, it'll be up tomorrow. But this is by Blue Bonnets Jewelry. And so they do polymer clay, and I'm super pumped because I think these are super fun. They're kind of one of a kind because they're handmade with polymer clay. They're super light, and I have an issue with wearing certain earrings. They tend to make my ears like get really angry, but these have lasted all day, and I think they're super fun. So I have some other pairs too that I got. But yeah, check them out on Instagram. So thank you to Michelle G and Kristen for helping me spend some of my money. But I needed some cute, I'm happy to find earrings that I can wear. So that was super, super cool. One other thing before we show some stitching, I did finish the book Love Does. This is by Bob Goff. I mentioned that I had started this book, I think back in July. And I said I read a chapter a day. I finished it last weekend. I think I was very close to finishing it on my Friday video. I think I might have even read like the epilogue on Saturday. This is a fantastic book. It is a New York Times bestseller. And the subtitle is Discover a Secretly Incredible Life in an Ordinary World. It is faith-based, so but I think it also can come across as a very spiritual book. It does talk a lot about Jesus and God, so if that is off-putting to you, totally understand. Not everybody believes the same that I do, but this is a great book. I dog-eared every page that I read something that just spoke to me. So as you can see, a lot of this book spoke to me. I have stars, I have underlined. This is a fantastic book. So I will link it below. It's just an Amazon link. I'm no longer an affiliate, so it's just a regular on Amazon link. And I'm reading, I'm finishing up the 40 Verses to Ignite Your Faith. And then once I finish that, I think I'm going to start on Bob Goff's Everybody Always book. So I'll let you know how those are. So I finished that. This book is not going anywhere, though. I could really foresee myself reading this again. I am still reading through the kid version of this with Joy-Filled Little One. We read one a night. So we are still reading through that, which is cool. So I think we're going to go ahead and dive into what I worked on this week. One thing, though, let me pose this to you because I talked about how I was going to show you my knitting whip. And then I do have one knitting thing in my stash. But next week, since I am visiting the local yarn shop, I will have that to show. Are y'all okay with me showing knitting in these videos? It might make them a little bit longer. If not, totally fine. You know, give me your input. If you're like, no, I can do without the knitting, I could maybe film a short other video. I don't know. It would probably not be on Fridays. It would be on another day of the week, and we'll have to see how that works out. So let me know, because I know some of you are multi-crafters, and so some of you have said, I love that you share knitting, but if some of you are like adamantly opposed, let me know. Or maybe I do it at the very, very end. I close out with some of my, like the Angel Kindness card and things like that, and then I show knitting after that. So let me know what you think. Let me know. So in no particular order, these are all just shoved in my box. This project lives in a GaRon tote bag. This was the July bag of the month. And this was my bop this week, my big old project, or my BAP. So this, every week I spin a tiny decisions wheel that has all of my large projects on it. And I focus on those. It was 100 stitches or a 1 hour, but now since I'm really not tracking time or stitches, I'm just trying to put some time into each of them each day. And so my bops, I work on Monday through Friday. So the one that I just totally launched Floss over there, that was really cool. I could not recreate that though, I can guarantee you. So this is Theresa Koget. This is one of her CW samplers. This is land that I love, and this is beautiful. I know that there's some others in the Zoom group that I unfortunately have not been able to be part of for quite some time because of, you know, scheduling and being back to work. But I know a lot of folks started up here with this alphabet. I decided to do a center start and work on all of these strawberries. They are strawberries. And then I probably will work down and then back to the top, because I'm going to have to tackle this, and then I'm going to have to tackle these houses. But this weeping willow is gorgeous. This is a beautiful chart. It is large. It is quite large. It's not my largest project, but it's quite large. It's 288 by 292, and I am stitching it in all of the called for. So it's a mix of Classic Colorworks, DMC, and Weeks Dye Works. And I am stitching this on a Dyeing for Cross Stitch. Kathy Davidson who is the proprietor of Dyeing for Cross Stitch. She has a Facebook group that she sells out of. And so she does kind of postings on Sundays. She does a fabric of the month. This was one I snagged during one of her Sunday posts randomly, and I was very lucky because it's a beautiful piece. And it's a 20 count Aida. You'll notice this is still on the Q-snap because I am still working through it. So this is a 20 count Aida, which means I am stitching this with one strand of floss over one square. And I think it's coming along beautifully. So I did put in more into the strawberries, the second color into some of these. I did these little blue dots. I'm calling them blueberries, so strawberries and blueberries. And then I started up here today in like a 10-minute break I had. So my goal is, before I put this away, I would like to finish out this strawberry and this strawberry, and then there's two little motifs. So I might end up pulling this out tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. It might come out tonight. We'll see. It might not meet its goal. That's okay. This is a long-term project. So I love this, though. So pretty. And I've got to remember that floss, remind me later that floss that flew out over there goes with this project. In fact, what I'm going to do is just toss the bag on top of it. Winning! All right, so next up, I will show you one that I worked on over the weekend. Diddly Daddle in Hand Stitcher Bag. I love this one with the little buffalo check woodland critters and her little cute button fob thing, and it had a squirrel. I mean, like, this couldn't have been the more perfect bag for me to get. And this little bag holds two projects, but only one was worked on this week. And it's Lizzie Kate, Wisemen Still Seek Him. This is one of her little snippets. I am stitching this on 32 count, picture this plus Shale Lugana. And I am stitching it with the called for. It's mostly Weeks Dye Works, I believe. And so I did get a little bit more progress on it. And so now I have Wisemen Still Seek. I think when I showed this last week, I had said I wanted to put more time into it, and I had done the E and min. So I finished out the rest of the word wise. So this is coming along. It's nice to have some little small ones smattered in. I definitely, when I'm talking plans, I will share with you that I am probably going to have some more small starts before the end of the year. I need some more smalls. Everything I like, a lot of what I have is huge. Huge, massively huge. Okay, so next up, I have a project that lives in this Love You More Studio Co. pouch sleeve. And this holds two projects, but only one came out to play this week. And the one that came out is another small one that I'm enjoying. Heart in Hand Merry Making Mini Bear. I love this. I love the little polar bear. And I decided as I was working on this that I'm going to tweak it a little bit for me. This is on 18 count Picture This Plus Aida in Jade, and it's just the cutest color. I like this color a lot. So I got quite a bit done. The only thing lacking on the polar bear is to fill in the heart. It says on the chart, wishing you joy. Wishing you joy. I'm going to rechart this and make joy the full height. So just joy. Instead of wishing you joy, just put joy and then the border. So yeah, I think it's turning out super cute. I'm all about that joy. That's why I picked this one. Plus the polar bear is super cute. So yeah, I do plan on recharting that before when it gets picked to work on again. Alrighty. Next up, this one is another Love You More. Got some floss on there. Love You More Studio sleeve. This one's kind of cool because it's glittery. Believe me, last night when I had this out and was working on this project, Joyful Little One came over and goes, oh, it's sparkly. And I said, get your hands off of it. Not really. She was fine. And this one holds Cranberry Christmas. I would love to stitch all of them. I am stitching this one. And when I started this last month, I had said that I was probably just going to take out Cranberry and squish it all together. And one of my awesome Flosstube friends who watches quite often said, well, why don't you just rechart that with Joy-Filled Christmas? I was like, genius, genius. So I did. I recharted it. And so I got a little bit more progress in this. I am stitching it in the called for Sulkies. There is a pack for this, a Sulky pack. And I am stitching this on 18 count, what is this? 18 count Aida from Color and Cotton in Tombstone. This was part of the Harvest Mystery Box last year. It's like a awesome light gray. And so I got almost the rest of Christmas done. I had last time filled and Tmiss. So I put in R-I-S-T and then a little bit of the letter H. So this is coming along. I'm liking the Sulky on the 18 count. When I stitch up close, the white doesn't look like it shows up, but I like that when I show it like this, you can for sure see it. It does have the light green as like a shadow. I think it's supposed to be like a shadow on most of the letters. So I think that will help as well to help those pop. So I'm loving this one, and I love that it went into one of my newer sleeves that I just got not too long ago. Another new sleeve came out this week to play. I got this one not too long ago. Again, Love You More, Studio Co. I have been using, now I did not know this, but Michelle G used to be a rep for them. I don't think she's officially a rep anymore. I don't know if she still has her code, but I use her Bendy 10 code. Not sure. I know they just did a bunch of rep search, so I think if you go to their Instagram, you can find the rep codes there, or find their reps and then go to their Instagram and get their codes. But it's a 10% off code, so that's cool. So this one I love. It has Joy, Hope, Love. Of course, it has Joy on it. I had to have it. And this one holds a relatively new start. I started this one towards the end of Jolly Joy Filled Whip You Lie. And this is Joy by Doreen Jones. This is out of the 2018 Ultimate Cross Stitch from Just Cross Stitch, I believe. And I am stitching this on a piece of 28 count hand-dyed Monaco from a seller that I have purchased from before on Stash Unloading Cross Stitch Only. It's Oksana. She often has hand-dyed Monacos, and and I am stitching this with Color and Cotton Dahlia, which is beautiful. And I have a lot of it, so it worked out nicely. And I got some more into the O of Joy. This is a fun stitch too. I'm trying to decide if I'm actually going to do the back stitching. I know why the back stitching was on the original chart. The back stitching around the letters. I know why it was on there because it was on that light fabric with white floss, and so it kind of helped it pop. I don't know that I need the back stitching on the letters itself. I will in the motifs, but I just don't know that I need it. And I did make a flub right here, so I have an extra little boop. That's a belly button. That's an outie belly button on my O. My O has an outie belly button. Anywho, I really enjoyed the time that I spent on this. This month, I've been focusing, Stitch and Mommy does, or started, Arbitrary August. And so I'm doing a spin on Arbitrary August. I am not doing an Arbitrary August because I spun my, I picked, when I went through all of my whips at the end of July and went, yes, no, yes, no. There was not many no's. There was a lot of yeses. As to if I was going to continue to stitch it, did it still bring me joy? I realized, okay, I haven't worked on this in a while. I need to work on it. So this has been Find Your Joy August, meaning find those projects that I'm really enjoying stitching on and pull those out. And if I pull something and I'm like, meh, maybe I'll find an alternative way to finish it more quickly. So everything that I've shown you so far that I pulled out, I love. I absolutely adore and cannot wait for them to come back out to stitch. So far, I've not pulled anything this month that I'm like, However, these were things that when the month started, I went, yes, yes, yes. So it'll be interesting. I almost feel like I have to do that at the end of each month. Is like, okay, I didn't stitch on this. Do I still like it? Okay, I need to try to stitch some on it. Do I still like it? Anyway, that was a long drawn out. Whatever. The next project lives in like an Amazon project bag, and I think this is the one that gives me trouble every single time, and I still have not taken it out. There we go. It was collaborative today. And this is Plum Street Sampler's Clementine, and I think this little PO'd cat is hysterical. I am stitching this for my sister-in-law. She is a stitcher herself, and she loves cats, and she used to have a cat that kind of looked like that and looked PO'd like that all the time. So I was like, yep, gonna do it. So I'm hoping to have this finished by Christmas. Do I think it's for sure? No. But it is what it is. This is on 18 count Picture This Plus Heartland. And I got the rest of this color in the stripes of his body and his tail. I think it's so cool. That tail is funky and awesome. And I've said it once, 1,000 times probably I've said it. Paulette Stewart is a genius. Everything she designs is awesome. I have far too many of her charts. And I won't live long enough to stitch them all. Story of my life. Alright, so this past weekend I worked on the project that lives in this bag. This is a gorgeous bag. It's from a seller on Stash Unloading Cross Stitch Only. Her name is Shirley. And she posts these where she uses different fabrics of all different varieties. I have this one and one other one. And she has a fun, even like an awesome fob with the scissors and a little lobster claw. I love it. And this holds my Blackbird Designs. Some of these are upside down, I think. No, just one. Garden Club series. And I am stitching 6 of these. So, Basket of Cherries, Apple Orchard, which I know Erin Two Martini Stitcher is working on this one. I think we had it on almost the same day. Butterfly Garden, Climbing the Trellis, Rarest Flower, and Fairy Garden. I am contemplating, however, because I've lost my mind, eliminating 2 and just doing these 4. Because while I love this one, I think this one could be kind of cool stitched different, like not as part of the main one. And I love this one, but it's not my favorite. I kind of like went, I need one more to make it 6 to make it work. So I'm almost contemplating just doing Basket of Cherries, Apple Orchard, Butterfly Garden, and Fairy Garden. I think that's probably, now that I'm sitting here going, that sounds like a great idea. And then these 2 I'll either stitch separately or destash. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Decided. And it has a swath of colors. I did my own conversion. Some are the called for, some are close, but they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I am stitching this on 18 count Picture This Plus. Nope. That is absolutely inaccurate. 18 count Color and Cotton. Oy vey. Inspector, which I think was a fabric of the month. And I've gotten quite a bit of progress on the Basket of Cherries. So these are all the cherries that are in the basket, and I started filling in some of the greenery. This is a beautiful stitch, and I love this piece of fabric. It's not doing it justice at all. It's kind of a pale, pale, pale lilac-y gray. But anyway, love it. Love it, love it. I'm going to love it even more that it's only 4 of them, because the other 2 were kind of like, I do like climbing the trellis, but I think that could actually be really cool, even like as a bookmark. I think you could do those over 1 and make them as, oh, I like that idea. Brainwaves. I like my brainwaves. But you could stitch them like over 1 on 28 count or over 1 on 25 count and do bookmarks, because they're, good idea. Good idea, Annie. I like it. All right, so then I worked on the project that lives in this bag. This is a Be Crafty Bags Facebook for those. And this is Noah's Christmas Ark. I am currently working on the doves, so I call it Noah's Doves. And I've already finished the one for my mom for Christmas this year. And I am currently working on the second one. This is on 18 count mystery die from Mystic Fabrics. And I finished out the tree with the exception of the flames of the candle. And then I did the star on the tree. So I've got some snow to stitch, snowballs to stitch, and the doves. But I love this tree. I love how it is outlined in the darker color. So it makes it almost look like it's 3D and popping up. It's popping. So anyway, love this. My goal is to obviously get both of these finished. The other one, the giraffes, is finished. It needs fully finishing. This one is not too far from being done. So I give her 2 a year. I gave her 2 last year as the first year. 2 this year. Alrighty. Project bag by me, using Helen D's tutorial, linked below. And this is my Heartstring Sampler chart, Exceedingly Grateful. And my awesome bestie, Stitchy Bestie, one of my Stitchy Besties, I have quite a few, Steph of Just Keep Stitching, told me, hey friend, Keepsakes has it. So those of you who have reached out and said, where do I find that? And I'm like, I don't even remember what order it came in. I ordered too much stuff. Keepsakes has it. So I feel certain if you ordered something from Keepsakes and you said, hey, can you throw in the Exceedingly Grateful chart? They do it in a heartbeat. Steph, correct me if I'm wrong. This is on 36 count Cecil is the colorway from Seraphim Fabrics, and it is a linen, and I am stitching it in 4 colors of color and cotton. So we've got Pine Tree, Typewriter, Brass, and Rhubarb. It's so pretty. And I was wrong last week when I talked about this project and said I needed to fill in the skunk's tail. Nope, it doesn't get filled in. So I was finished with the skunk just like I thought. And so I was like, I still want to stitch some on it. So I went ahead and came down here and started to put in some of the letters. And I adore this so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this fabric. I love the flosses that, I mean, Angela's a genius with her colors and how they blend and fade into each other. And this chart's beautiful by Beth. I mean, just amazing. This community is amazing. I mean, we have some truly, truly spectacular artists all around artists. All right, so I've got 2 more to show. This was a start last week for World of Cross Stitch Day, and this is Lindy Stitch's Turtley Lovable. This was a freebie I got in an order I placed, and I have this in a Bags Plus Bendy Flip. This is some Tula Pink fabric, and I have my colors in here. This is on a mystery die from Mystic Fabrics. It's an 18 count Aida, and I finished the turtle out and stitched the string, so the only thing that's left is the heart. And I think this is so cute. And Joyful Little One's teacher, in their classroom, they had a red-eared slider turtle that was rescued. And this teacher has had, thinking it would be a 1 or 2 year class pet. She's had it for a lot of years, Tori. So I'm thinking I might stitch another one of these because I have more fabric and stitch it as Tori for her. All right, the last one is a restart with a crop. So this is Long Dog Sampler's Pandemic, and I got it out and was preparing to stitch up here in the very top. And I went, you know what? I feel like this is like two designs in one. You've got this, which is more sparse. It's not sparse, but it looks more sparse. And you've got this, which is just incredible down here. So I was like, what parts do I like the most? Because truly this project was giving me like, ooh, it's big, it's a lot, it's going to take me 1,000 years. It's still going to take me 1,000 years. However, there are things that I definitely wanted to stitch, and some that I was like, So I went, you know what? I love, like, that this kind of looks like a squirrel. I think it's a bunny, but I think it might be a squirrel. And I love these bands, these diagonal bands. I love the birds. I love the 2020 and these cool flowers and birds down here. So I basically, okay, where can I crop it to get all the things that I love? Now, granted, I do like some of this motif up here, but I was like, So I basically went in and cropped it from like here, cropped out all of that. So this is about a page and a half, or a page and a third. So page and a third gone all across the top, and it's okay because I'm loving it now. I am stitching this with 2 colors of floss from Color and Cotton. The majority, well, I say the majority, but maybe 75% of it, 65 to 75% of it is going to be in Sapphire. And then the animals and some of the detailing is going to be in Typewriter. That's my new favorite. And it is on 18 count Outback Jack Aida from BeStitchMe. It is a custom cut. It is still living in the pillowcase, but I now just have it on an 8x11 Q-snap. I was finding it hard when I was starting in the top on this side to stitch with the lap stand. So I have actually a fairly decent start. And I literally, the part I started is up here. I came down about 2 inches and restarted. So here is where I am restarting. And this is that sapphire color. I put in this whole line and some here. This is one of those big diagonal bands. This band is a really cool stair step type design, and that is going to be in Typewriter. So I'm absolutely floored. I'm like motivated to pull this out and stitch on it. This has a GaRon grime guard. I do the 11x11 on my 8x11 Q-snaps. So what I do, some of you have asked before about my Q-snaps. I don't like the square size. I like a rectangle. So when I purchase my Q-snaps, I will buy an 8 square pack and an 11 square pack, and then Frankenstein them. Take the 2 8s and 2 11s and put them together, and now I've got an 8x11. I do the same thing for my small size, which is what Land That I Love was on, and I buy a 6 and an 8, put them together, and I get 2 6x8 rectangles. And so sometimes when I'm needing like a bunch of Q-snaps, what I'll do is I'll go on Amazon or Kitten Stitcher or whoever, 123 Stitch, and I'll buy an 11, 2 8s, and a 6, and I end up with 4 new Q-snaps, which is what you would have anyway, but I get 4 rectangle Q-snaps. That's my trick. It's not so fancy. It's just a trick. Put it back in the pillowcase. Pillowcase is the mother of invention. Big project bag. So that's all she wrote for stitching this week. And I enjoyed every last ounce of that stitching this week. Like I said, there was not a project I pulled out that I went, meh. I loved everything. I was super excited to restart Pandemic. Obviously it's still a massively huge project, but it's so good. It is so good. Okay, so let's chat. Where are we? Let's chat plans. Actually, you know what? I'm going to real quickly show you my progress on my knitting whip. So I am currently working on, I'm trying to find my picture of it. Lives in this yarn tote or knitting tote that I got off of Amazon. I will link it below. This is the small size. I do have some larger ones, or a larger one. And I am stitching, or excuse me, that is something that I've noticed in the last video that bugged me. So I apologize. I am knitting Hitchhiker. It's the Hitchhiker shawl by Martina Bem. I will link below. There's a series of about 4 of these that I bought as a 4-pack, and I have another one I would love to cast on, but it's a little more involved, and it's got short rows, and I'm not sure about that. I am knitting this with this beautiful yarn from Thread Pickers. It's in the colorway Mucky Pup, and they are not doing yarns right now. From what I can tell on their website or their Facebook group, I got this during their sale last September. So I don't know if they're going to have a sale this year, but I got it during their sale. I am working on this with, and it's stuck, there we go, some circulars from Chigu. They are a US 3 with a 40-inch cable, and the problem with falling asleep earlier is I usually work on this at night, plus my rows are getting longer. So this did not have as much progress as last week. So here's where my marker was last week after we spoke, and here's where I am now. So I did get some progress. I found it interesting. I was reading something about the beauty of garter stitch, because that's what this is in, is all garter stitch, and how it's just so easy, because it's just knit. But it takes longer to see progress, which totally makes sense, because this garter stitch has a lot more spring and a lot more stretch in it, which makes for super cuddly, squishy projects. But it makes it where you don't see progress quite as quickly as, say, if you were going to do something in a stockinette stitch. But anyway, I'm super enjoying this. My goal would be this next week to get more time in it nightly, if that means I need to do it first. But I missed it a lot this week, so I need to find some more time to do this in the evenings. So plans. This next week, I am going to focus on one of my bops, my big old projects. So let me spin my wheel of decisions, and let's see what comes up. And I do have veto power. Let's see what comes up. Prairie birds. I'm going to veto that one, because I haven't decided how many of them I'm going to actually stitch. Ooh, yay. Okay, I'm excited about that. Quaker de la Ferme. That is a Jardin Privé, and that is a super fun monochrome that I started in Mania. So yay, I have not had that out, I don't think, since Mania. So that'll be a good one. Yay. Let me write that in so I don't forget. Although I did take a screenshot, so that'll be fine. I did also knit up 2 ear savers. So the chart that I was using, I did link it in my show notes last week. I don't anticipate linking it this week because I'm not actually showing you one. But it came with 3 sizes. So I had knitted myself the medium. Joyful Little One wanted one because her ears were hurting. She has yet to wear it this week. I don't know. I knit her the small one. I did a pink yarn with little pink heart buttons. And then I did one for my best friend at work, who's the counselor. I did her. She wanted it to be the large size because she wanted, I just did what she asked for. Because she tried my medium and she felt like it was a little snug. And I was like, okay. Because I think she said she wanted to wear it up higher. I wear mine down at like the base of my neck. And mine's also was a stretchier yarn than the yarn she picked. She picked more the sugar and cream, like just that cotton, that all cotton that does not have any stretch. Sorry, I just got a text that Joyful Little One told grandmother that this soup is so appetizing. That child. She told me happened to we happened to be washing hands or something, and she was making the bubbles make squishy sounds with her hands like this. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm scrubbing my hands." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." And I was like, she goes, "Oh, that sound is just so satisfying." She's my child. I can't fault her for it. All right. So anyway, I did knit also 2 ear savers. I don't have those to show though, unfortunately. All right. So tonight, I would love to say I'm going to get to 2 projects. The first is Choose Happy. I am hosting, I suppose, a Choose Happy Sal. Some people are already finished and FFOing, which go y'all. I'm slow, obviously. I have a bajillion webs. And so I would like to put some more into that. And then this one, that was a Love You More Studio pouch. This is also a Love You More Studio pouch. And this one holds Cranberry Lane Christmas Time Sewing Roll. I don't think I'm doing it as a sewing roll. I don't know that yet. And I think I might only stitch this middle motif. I love Saint Lucia. I told the story that when I was in 4th grade, we did Christmas Around the World, and I was Saint Lucia. So when I saw this on a D-stash, I was like, must have, and it's a full kit. So I loved that. So I do want to put some time into that. That was my Find Your Joy spin for today. And I am coming to you a little bit earlier. It is only 6 o'clock right now, so I feel certain that I can have some time. All right, so this weekend, I actually pulled these. I went ahead and pulled what I plan to work on tomorrow and Sunday for Find Your Joy August. Tomorrow is Theresa Koget Pray. So I will show you where I am with that right now. This is on a 28 count Lugana, 2/2, and it is in the color, I believe, Ash Rose or Rose of some kind. I got this off of Stash Unload a while back, and it didn't really have a color. So that is where I am on her beautiful face. So I'm excited to spend some more time in this. I love all of Theresa Koget's charts. Where have I been? Where have I been? Under a rock, I believe. And this one lives in a project bag of my fabrics using the same Helen D tutorial. And then Sunday, the project that lives in this Diddly Daddle Designs bag is Artist Designs Acorn Assortment. And I did a color conversion on this one. It is on 18 count Mystic Fabrics in Snert. And I am thinking, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm fairly certain that when I finish this last fan flower right here, that I'm calling it done. Because I love it. I love these colors. I don't know that I want any more on it. Let me see what else is left. Yeah. Yep. When I finish that fan flower, it will be a finish. So this could potentially, it should be a finish on Sunday. So this one, hopefully you will see as a finish next week. I'm not saying an FFO, but you will see a finish. And I'm actually mad at myself now because even if I had done the whole chart, look at all this fabric that's just wasted. Wasted! And it's Snert too, which Misty doesn't do anymore. Although Snert is a lot like Outback Jack. So that might be why Outback Jack is like one of my favorites. Favorites. There's some BeStitchMe over there. Yes. Of course there is. It's not a weekly video without some BeStitchMe fabrics. And one of my orders that I placed on, you know, you need to do something with your eyebrow hairs. Side note, you know you need to do something with your eyebrow hairs when they get stuck in your closet. I'll get these really long ones that because they're a little wavy, they get kind of finagled down in there. And then I'll go, ooh, and one will be like up to the middle of my forehead. Like an old man eyebrows. Old man eyebrows, that's what I got. Anywho's it was it. I'm gonna talk. Here's the problem. Plans kind of goes into stashiness. So I'm just gonna talk plans. Take notes because these are, I'm gonna share, this will be in the show notes, obviously. But these are some starts I have planned with myself or others that I'd love for you to join. So, Erin 2 Martini Stitcher and I have declared between us that September is going to be Start-timber. because all the starts are happening in September for both of us. I'm not sure how that happened, but it is. And okay, we're rolling with it. So Start-tember is what we are doing in September. And of course, there will be a hashtag for that. And a hashtag for all the different starts. So September 1st, I'm super excited. I have this to show. But myself, Erin 2 Martini Stitcher, and Amy Baruch are hosting hashtag Tree of Magic Sal. I have that to show in stash. Tree of Magic Sal. So remember that when I say, hey, look up, that's if you happen to get this. Now granted, there might still be time to get it because it came from Russia. However, this is a big project. Not going to be finished within like a week or so. So it's an open-ended invitation to anybody who wants to order this to come and participate with us and post your photos on the hashtag Tree of Magic Sal. More to show in a moment. Okay, so in September, I also am planning to start Positivity Rules by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. We'll show that in a moment. I am planning to start Snow Queen by Mirabilia for Erin 2 Martini Stitcher. She is hosting a Mira start along, whatever. And you pick a Mira, and I want to start Snow Queen. So I think that's September 22nd. And then I know I have one other September one, but I'm not going to share that yet because I have not gotten it in stash yet. And so I'm going to share that later. But there is another one in September. Plus I have some smalls planned. This one, crazy for starts. Hashtag crazy for starts. All right, so then October. I came up with some ideas for October, so listen up, folks. October 1. October is my birthday month. I get one day, but October is my birthday month, and I started a lot of things last year. Some they're not finished. So some of those are going to be smattered in on their birthdays in October. Rosetta's one. Autumn Drum is another one. Acorn Assortment will be finished. Bingo. That might be all that's left from last year. It might be. I'm not sure. I'll look at that and verify. But I am starting another massively mega bop. And I'm so excited. Well, I am if the fabric gets here. I'm going to start Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Sampler. I have the beautiful book that came out at Market. I have that. I have all the flosses pulled. I did some converting of my own. I pulled some that I had, in my stash. And I did already order a half-yard cut of 18 count Aida that I thought I was going to like, and I don't like it for the project. I don't like it with the floss, and I don't have another piece. So week before last, I think, I ordered a 20 count Aida, because a 20 count is like loving it right now, especially for these big giant projects, because you can use one strand. 20 count Aida from Color and Cotton and aged paper. So I'm hopeful that it will be here, but I mean, Angela's swamped. We've ordered a massive ton of stuff from her. And so if it doesn't get here by October 1st, I'll start it when it gets here. So maybe it'll be an October whatever start, but I am going to start Consider the Lilies. October 9th, I've mentioned this before, I have a fun start with a friend, as a preemptive birthday start. My birthday is on October 13th. Happy early birthday, Kathy. Kathy, my friend from the very beginning. We have the same birthday. And I have a start for my birthday that is in stash, and I'll show that right now. So I saw this chart posted on Acorns and Threads in their newsletter, and I adore it. I love everything. So apparently October's going to be start a lot of Heartstring Samplery things. But anyway, this is What a Time to Be Alive, and this is an exclusive to Acorns and Threads. So I called them. We played phone tag for over a week because hashtag was back at work, and they are amazing, and they kept calling back, and I'd call them and miss them, and so we played phone tag for like a week, and they shipped this out to me super fast. I don't know what linen I'm going to use or what fabric I'm going to use yet, and I don't know what floss, but it will be epically epic. And so I am starting this on October 13th. So you have plenty of time if you want to snag this chart. I think Erin is starting along. That is our new thing. We are starting along. Like Laura of Brenda the Serial Starter, Laura, she coined that a Sal is now a start along. I'm in it for a start along. You're going to finish way before me, and that's okay, because process stitcher. But start along? Yes. Start along all the things. Hashtag Jenny. Start along all the things. Okay, so I am doing, for my birthday on October 13th, I am starting What a Time to Be Alive by Heartstring Sampler, and I am calling it hashtag Time to Be Alive B-Day Sal. Because this is perfect. I mean, I'm turning 40 in the year 2020. By the way, I saw a meme today from one of my friends who is in the Gulf of Texas, who posted it, and all joking, but I'm like, seriously, are you doing okay with this news? There's 2 hurricanes heading to the Gulf Coast of the United States. And somebody posted a meme that shows the 2 hurricanes coming. And then it says, all right, who had 2 hurricanes on their 2020 bingo card? I want to know who had it and thought this was a good idea. I mean, who would have thought when we rolled over Jan 1, 2020, that we would have pandemic, Australia on fire, and the poor koalas. That started early. That was around in January. Australia on fire, pandemic, shut down the world. The world shut down. Murder hornets, although they didn't play such a big part. I don't know why they were written into the story, because they kind of came and went. What else? Oh, just all of the civil unrest. Two hurricanes. Well, we've already had some hurricanes and tropical storms. We've had flooding up in the Midwest. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. No more. 2020 be done. Anybody else really looking forward to 2021? And yet I'm planning to start nothing in 2021. I'm starting to believe, now I will wait until September to hold my judgment on this. I don't think there's any way I can do a no new starts for an entire year. Votes on that. We need to do a pool, like the Super Bowl. What date do you think Annie will start something next year? Yep. I think we're maybe allotted some starts for special days. I'm afraid that it's not going to be enough for me. And that might be my deal breaker. Nah, I'm out. I'm bad. Okay. Time to Be Alive B-Day Saw. I'm looking at my notes so I can make sure I can say it correctly. And I looked and it's not used up on Instagram, so I will be posting a photo of this to claim it. Claim it. So I did show you some stash. Okay, and anyway, and then I might have another start in October. 4 seems like a good number. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 starts. I'm not doing 40. No. No. Too many whips already. Yeah, especially since I've got starts in September. Start-timber. So then I said, in joking to Erin, I said, okay, so then November has to be enough November. Not enough, but enough November. No more. And then done December. We got to finish everything. I have stuff I do not want to carry into next year. And that would be anything with a 2019 birthday. The problem is I started a literal ton of projects last December. 1 a day on most days. And I think I had the 15th of December, I started 5 things. You have to laugh to keep from crying. But anyway. And I noticed some folks had sent me or had claimed or commented things on my D-stash. Just FYI, I have not looked at that this week. So I apologize. But I do know this much. I have said time and again, now granted, it may not happen, but I would love to say there is going to be a massively epic D-stash come Labor Day weekend. That's my hope. And here's the reason why. And I may post things up until then. And I may take a cue from Allison Rose and D Stash where she said, I'm just going to leave your invoices open until I'm done posting everything. I probably will end up doing that. And so if you've claimed something and you're the first comment on there, it's yours. If I can't verify whose it is, we'll figure it out from there. We'll draw straws or something. Virtual straws. There's an app for that. We're well over an hour already. Or no, we're at 1 hour and 7 seconds. And I haven't shown Stash yet. It's been a long one. So yeah, D-Stash is coming because I can't stitch it all, friends. And now I'm getting back into knitting. And I can't knit and stitch it all. It's funny though, my mom, bless her, I said, hey, tomorrow after we go swimming, I did an appointment at the new local yarn shop that somebody recommended to me. I'm sorry I don't remember who it was, but I'm excited to go visit Juju Knits, which is here in Fort Worth. But they're doing it by appointment only on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So you get a 30-minute shopping appointment. So I'm excited to go see what they have. I don't know that I'll buy anything, but I'm excited to see. And I placed a curbside order with the other local yarn shop because my time is kind of limited, and that is West 7th or W7th Yarns or West 7th Yarns. So that actually I got an email that it was ready to be picked up, but they were already closed. So I will get it sometime maybe next week. We'll see. But anyway, I told her, hey, I have this planned for 1 o'clock. It's what they had available. She's like, totally fine. Little one can come home from the pool with me. Are you knitting again? I was like, yes. Remember I showed you the shawl I started? She goes, oh yeah. And I said, and I've got quite a bit of progress. So I sent her a picture. And her response back was, that seems like a more practical craft. I was nice and did not say to her, so you don't want cross stitch for Christmas anymore? I must still do it, and I still love cross stitch, but I am kind of feeling compelled to like sometimes do the knitting because that knitting project does not require the mental capacity at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night that knitting does that stitching does sometimes. Anywho. So there will actually be some yarn because I went through my yarn stash I had previously, and I have some that I know I will never knit with. And so I'll have that. Spam risk, no thank you. And I will also have charts. I will have fabric cuts. I will have project sleeves that I have sewn and project bags. I have some bags plus floss buddies of all sizes. I might have floss. I don't know. I've got to kind of get my head wrapped around all of it. Obviously, I'll have to take pictures of everything and get that all posted and not get myself locked out of Instagram in the process. All right, so let's do some stash because we've rambled and all of that long enough. So let's do some stash. So if you made it to this point, it's joy-filled stashy stash time. It's joy-filled stashy stash time. So the first thing that came is I am part of both of the Dying to Stitch clubs this year. So they have their Berry Club and they have their Quaint Country Ladies Club. And their Quaint Country Ladies Club is Pineberry Lane. And they all kind of have a fall / Halloween vibe. And so I got my Quaint Country Ladies, and this is Gather. So I adore this. Last one that I got was very Halloween themed, and Kristen, Bluebonnets and Whiskey, said, hey, if you decide to sell that, let me know. I'll buy it from you. I just sent it to her. She's like, what? But hello. It has a squirrel. It has this cute lady. Do I think I'm going to stitch it? Maybe. Am I for sure going to stitch it? Not sure. It may be in D-Stash. I'm not sure. But it comes with the floss card. It comes with the fabric, both the stitch on and the finishing fabric. This looks to be maybe the fabric to do this like rope trim. They did say in the note that comes with the shipment that they were not able to get the rusty bells that are adorning the bottom of the pocket. However, I know that I saw them on, I don't remember where I saw them. Oh, Hollis Hands Creates, I think, had some. So, anywho, I did get that. And speaking of Hollis Hands Creates, I got an order from her. I was looking for Quaker Pumpkins because 123 Stitch was out until the middle of September, and this is going to be a start either in October or in September. I haven't decided yet. This is Hello from Liz Matthews, Quaker Pumpkins. I got most of the floss for it last week. I showed it last week from a 123 Stitch. It's charted in Weeks Dye Works. I am going to stitch it without B-words. So from this line up. Because I think the pumpkins are incredible. And the color palette is insanely gorgeous. It's huge. With the bottom part, it's 327 by 143. So let me just say this. Those are some big spools. Big spools. But I will say this. I don't know for sure. It will be a start before 2021. Or if I'm not doing no new starts, then it'll be in 2020. I'm not sure when this is going to get started. I just said to myself, oh, I'm going to start this in September, October. Well, I just realized I ordered the called for linen for this, and who knows when it'll come. Because it is from Color and Cotton, and they're about 4 weeks out, I think. So maybe October. And it is calls for 36 count boardwalk. I got 20 count Aida because I want these to be a little bit smaller. And I have all the Weeks Dye Works with the exception of the one skein of molasses. So I have that to get. And the one thing about Hollis Hands Creates, she sends you this really fun, her business card is a project card, which I think is cool. She ships, I think domestically, she ships orders over $35 for free. So it's in your best interest to like add some extra things. So I saw these scissors from Kelmscott Designs and I had to have them. Look how cute those are. Little love scissors. Little snips. So those were in her shop. She has some other ones as well. I'm sorry, this is a little crinkly. I did want the two new Classic Colorworks colors and she had them. So Little Sprout and Sweet Potato. Great fall colors. And then I did not know that this existed until I saw it in her shop. But this is a piece of Zweigart 20 count Aida in the color Blush. So this is not an over dyed. This is one that comes from Zweigart like this. And so I got a fat quarter of it because I thought it was really a pretty color. And it's 20 count Aida. So there you go. So that was what I got from Hollis Hands Creates. She's actually fairly local to me as well. She's in North Fort Worth-ish area. And so literally I think it shipped and then it arrived today. Like I think it shipped yesterday and arrived today. So sometimes the postal service is on top of things. Alright, so then I had an order from 123 Stitch. Because I got a notification that, because last week, I showed that green linen I got from Weeks Dye Works. Somebody mentioned looking at guacamole, but guacamole was not coming up the color I really wanted it to be. This is for Ghosties and Gourds, which is the hands-on design chart that's the banner year, that I am going to be stitching. That actually might be a start too. Well, the called for linen is, picture this plus Kermit, which 123 Stitch says is approximately DMC 907. They also say that Weeks Dye Works Chartreuse is also 907. So I got this. I mean, that is way blowing that out. Okay, hold on. I mean, it's bright, but it's not that bright. So, yeah, sorry, that chart is totally showing. I got a piece of that, and I think this is what I'm going to go with. It is 30 count, so it is, it needed to be a little bit bigger for the banner, but I'm gonna do a floss toss on it, and I'll see, but I think so. All right, so then I got this chart. I had been eyeing, so Erin 2 Martini Stitcher just finished arranging vegetables, and I'd seen some of the other ones, and I haven't stitched anything for my husband in a while, and I knew that there was an arranging tools, so I grabbed it. And I think I actually might have some of the called for flosses. Not all of them. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do the DMC. I probably will do the DMC for the outline, which is Garden Gate, but I'll see. Because the DMC I think would be just fine as well. It only calls for 5 colors in total. So arranging tools I got for him to stitch for him. And then this one popped up and I was like, oh, I like that. This is Ink Circle's Flower Power. And I love the look of it. I love that it's on the gingham. So I bought the gingham that it goes on. This is a 28 count gingham in natural straw. So you know I'm talking about destashing and I'm adding more things. But I love it. Love it, love it. Plus I love knowing that Ink Circles works with Pattern Keeper. Because I do have Pattern Keeper on a small Kindle Fire, and so that's great to know about that. And I know that Long Dogs do too, and so I was thinking of moving Pandemic over that. So while I was there, I got a couple more of the little check ones. So this is 28 count Weeks Dye Works light khaki gingham. I just got the small cut, the 8x12 cut. This one is Blue Jeans, which I love, and this one is Aztec Red. And these feel less floppily, like they feel more substantial. I don't know if there's Weigert base. They probably are not, but they feel different than the ones I've had before. And I know this one for sure feels different. But I don't have a selvage to be able to tell you if it is Weigert or not. Okay, so I got those things from 123 Stitch. This one's shipped out very quickly. I was rather surprised because I was not anticipating it getting to me quite as quick, because I know that they were inundated with orders for quite some time, but it did. I think there was one item that was not available that will ship at some point, maybe in September or something. I think it was another piece. Oh, it was the gingham in Tin Roof, so that will ship at some point. All right, then I have 2 pieces of fabric from Friday Night Fight Night 2 weeks ago, and I'm sorry, there is some crinkle sounds. I was super excited to snag a 20 count from Brandy, BeStitchMe. BeStitchMe Fabrics, Brandy. This is one of her new colors that she did that night, put out that night, which is called Awakening. Look at this. It's like 2 totally different cuts of fabric. Like the top is one vibe and the bottom is one vibe, but it's very spooky. It's very like murky-ish. But this is a 20 count Aida, and I don't know what it's for yet, but it's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, so good. I'm just going to toss that in there. And then I got a 27 count Linda, which is my other one I'm loving right now. It's a great alternative to Monaco. That's what Priscilla and Chelsea were the ones that actually didn't alert me to Linda because I'd found it already, but that it is very similar to Monaco. They are absolutely right. So I have a piece of Autumn, which is one of her colorways, in linen, but I liked how this looked. So this is the Linda. So it is a even weave, a 27 count even weave, and this is Autumn, and it's beautiful. Now I will say, after last week's video, I reached out to Brandy, and I noted that that Frost, which is the one I got last week for Snow Queen, was not on the website. She said, absolutely send her an email. She will do a custom, because that's what she did for me, is she did a custom cut. So it's not her fat quarter. It wasn't a fat half. It was a custom cut of what I needed. But Frost is up on the website now, and a lot of these are as well. So if you're not able to snag one at Friday Night Fight Night, which there is one tonight, 9 o'clock Central Time, you can order from the website. I have 2 open orders, and I don't know that I'll participate this week. We'll see. I'm not sure. I haven't decided that yet. All right, so I'm not sure what to show you next. Yes, I do. All right, so this is a start in September. This is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and this is a currently going stitch along. Let me pull up the what it looks like. Because I bought the kit And it doesn't, there's no picture because when this came out, obviously nothing was released yet. So this is what it looks like with what's currently released. And this is Positivity Rules by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, which I think is so fun. The colors are super bright. And so I got the kit, and it comes like this, Positivity Rules. The chart is sent to you as a PDF. So this does not contain the chart. It contains the color key, the floss, the fabric. I elected to get the matching needle minder. So let me show you, and this is her card and the contact info. So Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And let me show you. I love how this came. I think it's very professionally wrapped. So it came with a cute little pouch, and then in the pouch is the needle minder that matches the project. I have some other Caterpillar Cross Stitch needle minders, and they're fantastic. And this is the needle minder. Is that not so cute? Positivity Rules. So that is in the little pouch. And then it comes with a floss card with, look at how beautiful those colors are. It's DMC. So it has 13 colors on this beautiful floss card. And then what's nice is they give you an instruction sheet. Here's the floss key, the floss colors, and the numbers, so you know which is which. So what I'm going to do is actually go in and I'll plug in I'll write on here the DMC number and probably draw the symbol, or do the best with my symbol drawing skills. But what's nice is because you have the number, if you happen to run into running out of floss, I don't think that's going to be the case. There's a lot of floss here. But if for some reason an animal got a hold of it and ruined your floss card, you know what colors they are. They offer it in a couple of different cuts of fabric. I think it's an Aida and an even weave. I chose the even weave option, and I believe the even weave for this, I don't have it off the top of my head, but I think it's an ash rose or an ash pink Lugana. I think it's a 32 count. So I did pick, or maybe it's a 28 count, I'm not sure. But I did pick the even weave option. And I think this is going to be so pretty and so fun. Look at those colors on that pink. Oh, I love it. It's just like happiness. It's happiness, happiness. It's got some super fun, bright, some of my favorite bright DMC colors. And I love, it came super fast. Now they are shipping from the UK. This is currently an active stitch along, so it has not completely been released yet. So still plenty of time to purchase this. They just put up pre-orders. I'm super excited. They just put up pre-orders for Hello Dear, which is another one in their tree series. So they did Hello Autumn, which was a really super cute autumn tree. I bought that as a PDF. I did not buy the kit. And then I am one of the stitchers for Hello Dear. They reached out to me and asked if I would like to stitch it, and I said yes. It's going to be adorable as always, and so that's on its way to me. But I know they put up the pre-orders on the 19th, and I think they've already started shipping some. So check out link below for either Positivity Rules, or I'll also link the pre-order for Hello Dear. And since I mentioned it, I'll also link Hello Pumpkin. I think it's Hello Pumpkin. All right, so then the other Stitchy start. This is Tree of Magic. So this comes from Nitka Moscow. This is a glimpse of it. And you might have guessed, it's Barbara Anna Designs. And they have partnered on several of these kits with Nitka Moscow. You can find them on Instagram. I will link below. I have reached out to them in the past via Messenger. Because since we're in the US, it makes the purchasing a little bit trickier. But that's okay. It's always been super easy. They just send me an invoice. I have to use my PayPal account that's not a business PayPal account, which is fine, because I have two different ones. And shipped super fast. And I've just now started to reach out via email, because I've purchased from them before. So it comes in the super fun tube, which I'm sure Joyful Little One will swipe at some point. And it comes with a lot of goodies. So it comes with a lot of charts. So it comes with an instruction sheet. Now it is in Russian, but that's not a problem. It comes with this one that's a small chart. I think this might be a freebie chart. And then the actual stitched chart is large. So it's 2 sheets. What I like is the back stitch is shown in red, which I think is nice. It has color key. I like that it's black and white. And then let me show you what else it has. So lots of goodness already. It comes with beautiful Zweigert linen. It comes with 2 needles stuck in the felt. Beautiful. It comes with a DMC card with the flosses all braided. Isn't that going to be beautiful? So again, this is the one that I am doing the SAL with Erin Two Martini Stitcher and Amy Baruch, and it's hashtag Tree of Magic SAL. So if this floats your boat, you can still order it. You don't have to start on the exact same day we do. We are starting at September 1st. I don't know if it'll get here. I can't promise anything, but reach out to the awesome folks at Nitka Moscow and come start along with us. Stitch along. Maybe not start along since it won't be on the same day. Maybe it will. I don't know. But you can stitch along later on. All right, so the last 2 things in my basket are knitting related. So the first, I was looking for more progress trackers. So that's, unlike a stitch marker that marks places in your pattern, a progress tracker is like what I have where it's hooked like a lobster claw, and then you can move it to show your progress. So that's the one that I have. I was searching on Etsy and I found this adorable shop called Charmed and Dangerous. It's owned by Noelle Wright. She's a polymer clay artist. And she has an Etsy shop. It's etsy.com/shop/charmed and dangerous. I'll link it below. And she has some in her shop on a readily available basis. But like last Saturday, I think it was, she had new releases. And she tells you when her new releases are going to be. And they sell out fast because they are kind of a, one-off. So I got 3. Because, I'm going to have 3 knitting projects. I couldn't decide, so I got 3. So I got this strawberry. Is that the cutest thing ever? Oh my gosh, I die. I got a cookie jar. Look how cute that is. It has tiny cookies. And then I think Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy, needs this one. It's a sprinkle donut. Now, I know some people don't like their things to have faces, but I think these are cute, and I like that they have faces. They're happy faces. So, anywho, beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, so then the other bit of nitty goodness I got was from Lauren. She owns a shop, a yarn shop on Etsy called Treehouse Knits, and I will link it below. And I was looking for a yarn advent calendar. And she's out of Austin, Texas. So she's close to me. And she does a yarn of the month. And so I thought, And she does already some ready dyed also. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna test the waters. I'm gonna order a skein of her fingering weight. See if I like it. And if I do, when it comes in and I do, I can order her advent calendar. I also ordered her yarn of the month, and it will ship September 1st. So she actually went ahead and shipped this since I ordered the 2 together. I was not aware that that was a problem, so I feel terrible about that. And then I have already ordered the advent calendar because this yarn is beautiful. So this is a 75, so again, it's Treehouse Knits. This is a 75-25 fingering, so it's 463 yards of merino and nylon superwash. It's super soft. It is a hand wash cold, and this is in the color Celestial Sands. It looks a little like Mucky Pup, but like ramped up. So it's a tan with all these beautiful pinks, turquoise, like indigo. so beautiful, and it's a really soft, squishy yarn. I'm excited about it. So I went ahead and ordered the advent calendar. Advent calendars, yarn advent calendars are not cheap. But I will say her quality is fantastic. I'm going to actually pull it up to show you, because I think if I remember correctly, with her yarn of the month, she gives you image inspirations. So I thought that was very cool, because, oh, she's on a break. So hold on one second. Let me see if I can still get it to show me. Okay, so this, for her yarn of the month, she gives you an image. Oh, this is an image inspiration for the yarn of the month for August. So it does show that she is on vacation right now. Let me look and see. So she has beautiful photography. So the advent calendar is a pre-order. So she did give, so here is the cover image. I'm sorry, this is not great. And then she gives you some image ideas. So it's animals in winter, and is her like theme. So her item details, it says you have two options. You have an option that includes 24 superwash fingering mini skeins, 93 yards each, and one full-size superwash skeins of 400 yards. One mini to open each day for 24 days, and one full skein to open on day 25. Option B is the 7 superwash fingering mini skeins and one full-size skein. One to open each day for 7 days, and one full size to open on day 8. I did the full option. There is actually option C, which is 24 superwash DK. So if you'd like a different weight than fingering, and then there's option D, which is the 7 superwash DK, and then the one larger skein. They're individually numbered, wrapped and numbered. And then her theme for this year is wildlife in winter, landscapes. They are all unique to the pre-order and will not be released until January 2021 to the public. And they will ship November 16th. So let me see when it says if it says when she's gonna be back from vacation, in case some of you are interested in ordering. It says, I'm currently working through an influx of individual and wholesale orders. If you have an existing order, they will be completed and shipped soon. It will reopen for new orders in early September. So what I always suggest to do with Etsy is if you're intrigued by this and you want to try out the advent calendar, the small or the large, if you're a knitter, and want to try it out, then go to the link that I post. You can favorite the shop. You can also email me when they're back. So you'll get an email when she returns, and then you should be able to purchase it at that point. I don't think she's closing them, but I don't know that for a fact. So, but I am super impressed with the quality, so I cannot wait to get my August yarn of the month. I will buy the September yarn of the month, and I cannot wait to get my advent calendar. So that'll be something fun to open. I did go ahead and so I'm going to get a Stitchy-ish calendar. Because I did the Black Needle Society, I did their Advent pre-order box. So I was not lucky enough to be quick enough to get the 25 days, which is fine. It was really out of my price range. So I did get the 12 days. So I will have 12 days to open the Black Needle Society Stitchy box of goodness. And then I also got a fall box. So that will be coming at some point. I'm kind of love these things. I love the little mystery behind them. And I didn't really, when I was a planner girl, I did a couple of planning ones, advent calendars. And I always get Joy-Filled Little One, some cutesy one of some kind. But I didn't really do any last year for myself. And so this is kind of exciting that it's going to go along with. And I already think I found a pattern that I can use for my mini skeins. I'm excited about that. So that is all she wrote in terms of projects I worked on. Whips, plans, stash, life update. We're at almost an hour and a half. So let's see if we can get in right under an hour and a half. And I'm going to share with you my Theresa Koget Angel Kindness card for this week. And I have this beautiful sweet girl with hearts coming out of her pocket. And on the front it says, love is patient, love is kind. 1 Corinthians 13:4. Sorry, my eyes were old for a minute. And it says, live by faith, not by fear. Know in your heart and soul that God gave you the ability and courage to carry out great plans. Amen to that. Right now I feel like I'm carrying out some great plans that God has put in front of me. Going back to work in my mind took some courage. But I put my full trust and faith in Him. And I loved this one because our theme this year is Love Does. Love Does, the book Love Does. And it's based around 1 Corinthians. So love is an active thing. So let's love each other, which means that we have to show grace to people. We have to be courageous and step outside comfort zones. So with that, I think I've chatted at you enough this evening. I am super excited that for those of you that have joined me again this week for another long old video. If you are brand new this week and you made it to this point, wow, you're awesome. I hope that you heard something or saw something you liked and will continue to join me week to week. I am pretty consistently Friday nights, and I hope that continues in the future. With that, I will bid you so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I will see you next Friday.